Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine. On today's episode, the misunderstood saintly life of a villainous scion. I just want to do whatever I want in my second life.
Welcome, everybody. I am your magicless noble going global on your mobile, Moxie the Yeen, here with my secretly evil, secretly nice, made with a mix of sugar and spice, Isekai Sensei-Sama, Brad. Brad, how you doing?
But there was one more ingredient. Chemical X.
That's what this arc should have been.
Dun, 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 dun,
We needed to...
dun, 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 dun.
What a thing to bring up before going, welcome to the reason why we're having the weirdly horny arc. It's episode 69, dudes. Nice. Literally just for that. Literally just came up. It's like, you're like 69. I'm like, yo, 69. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And here we are with an Issa 9. And a bunch of other things around it.
It is definitely an Issa 9.
It is definitely an Issa 9.
Shall I attempt the Japanese name?
Go for it, buddy. You got to suffer in the way that I suffer every other episode without your help.
Okay. Akuyaku, I think. Does that? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Akuyaku onzoshi no Kanchigai Seija Seikatsu Nidome no Jinsei wa Yarite? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I know Yari.
Hodai Shitai Dake Nanoni. You certainly said some sounds. Yeah,
I don't know if you said words, but you made mouth sounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of words there.
I guess as a no surprise to anybody, this is a light novel adaptation. You have the original listed as Kanome, which I'm assuming is a pen name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, probably. I looked into this. They don't seem to have any. There's a couple other series that they've done, but nothing major. So.
But we were reading the manga, which was adapted.
Exacted.
I cannot talk today.
The manga, which was extracted
from the light novel by Maiko Senju. This started September 8th, 2023. Only one volume is out in Japanese, but 22 chapters released. So I guess wherever this is coming out, but it was collected, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So as with most of these, I can't really find information about like where they're actually releasing digitally. I assume there's a magazine that they're releasing in, and then they get a volume release.
Or they're just on some Japanese only.
But I'm pretty sure platform. It's not just it's not like a Pixiv or anything like that. But
yeah, because it's usually, I would love to know the system of how those light novels get adapted. And it's like, is a big business coming in? Is this just like a artist comes and goes, I'll do this? And
I don't think they're big businesses, but I do think they're like agencies that just do tons of adaptations.
One of them will pop off, certainly, because I'm sure they're pretty cheap to buy up, I would think.
Yeah.
And now with the setup out of the way, we're going to get to my patented Moxie's Mox Speed manga summary. How would you describe someone who is evil? Selfishness? Malice? Perhaps you could describe the evil nature of a villain with 3 clauses. Live without compromising your beliefs, polish your charm and do not slack off, and do not let anyone decide your future. No? Doesn't sound very evil or villainous. Well, maybe getting run over to protect your girlfriend who you just found out was cheating on you does a number on your concepts of morals. And that person has just been isekai into the body of a young Augur Verret, the eldest son of the self-proclaimed villainous Varric Ducal. Heinz Dukelschmerz.
Yeah.
Ducal family. I swear I've seen that word written or spoken aloud at some point. It sounds different.
They're dukes.
They're dukes.
Or a duke.
Duking it up.
It's the ducal family.
Ducal nucleum. Oh, I got to remember that for later.
Count Ducal.
Now, as Augur, he's taken up the mantle of being a villain with gusto. He'll live as he pleases according to his own desires. However, the exact methods to achieve those desires may not be quite as villainous as he thinks. We catch back up with Augur as he turns 15 and discusses becoming the heir with his father. He must enroll in the Magic Academy, because of course there's one of those. But there is one problem. Augur has a special magic that shouldn't be shown to the public, at least not yet. I forgot about that. And before he can attend the academy, he must select an attendant to go with him. With evil thoughts in his head, Augur heads to an underground arena where he plans to capture his first minion. In the arena, a one-sided battle is taking place. A single woman is taking out wave after wave of combatants. She shows no mercy. After the match, she is shown to a waiting room where Augur is waiting. He's well aware that she is the former Holy Knight commander, Chris Ragnica.
Yeah, I didn't think that was
Also,
it.
Chris?
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Woman, Chris.
Krisu.
Don't understand it. Who was stripped of her position after trying to expose a human trafficking ring run by some nobles. I believe by his own family.
So I did double check this. That's not his family.
Okay.
It certainly like the person looked like it was his dad, but it's not.
Okay. How do you know it's... I guess you have future knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. After reliving the story of her downfall, she's pretty upset at Augur, who she currently sees as just another one of the nobles that left her in this state in the first place. But Augur has the right words to charm her back from the downtrodden mentality that she's adopted. He says he's admired her as a holy knight and wants her to join with him, restart her life. How evil of him. Before they leave, Augur gives her a new name since she's been branded a criminal. From now on, she'll be known as Alice, which is a weird mashup of Augur and Chris, and it makes sense if you say them with a Japanese accent. Don't think too much about it. She's overjoyed, but she's got one more thing to do before they leave. She scampers off ahead of Augur, who shortly thereafter finds her back in the arena atop the corpses of the rest of the criminals who had gathered. The trash has been taken out. When we next see Augur, he's arrived at the Royal Magic Academy of Lushburg to start his education. Alice is with him, and all seems well until she overhears some other students talking poorly of Augur and his family, so she threatens them. This could be a problem, though, since their villainous reputation may make it difficult for him to create a harem, because of course that's what he wants to do. As the other students are chased off, Augur is approached by a beautiful girl dressed in a boy's uniform. This is Karen Levetska. Russian? Levetsenka. Augur's ex-fiancé. She's happy to see him, so Alice wonders why they are ex-fiancés. Augur explains that it's because he was found to have no magic aptitude, which is a big no-no for a noble. Augur alludes to the Levanska family hating him, but Karen starts to interject before running off as the opening ceremony is starting. He makes a point. It's like, why are you wearing boys' clothes? And it's like, I hadn't even noticed. After the ceremony, where once again rumors about Augur are passed around to Alice's astonishment, the two take a tour around the campus. Augur already knows exactly who he's aiming for, and they come upon a scene of bullying. A noble boy is about to strike a commoner girl, but Augur swoops in and kicks him right in the chin. Augur then uses his status as a ducal heir to his advantage, and the boy and his friends are scared off. The girl he saved is Mashiro Liche, who Augur is aiming to have as a subordinate. Probably because of her great, big, bouncing tracts of land. I mean, talent with magic, but also her tracts of land. After offering her a handkerchief to clean off with, and having just been saved, Mashiro is grateful but bashful and runs off, saying she'll see him at the welcome party. Later, at the welcome party, there is a large crowd congregating around the crown prince who is attending the academy. He's actually Karen's current fiancé. After a brief verbal confrontation, Karen shows up and it's clear that the prince isn't all that keen on having her around. As they leave, Augur notes that Karen seems pretty unhappy with the situation and tells her that he knows what she's really feeling. As the party winds down, a servant approaches Augur with a note. Reading it, Augur is shocked. It seems to be an invitation to a love confession from Mashiro. Is this really the start of Augur's harem? Brad, it's another isekai. It does all the isekai things.
No, but see, look.
It's so teenage.
Well,
he has a girl who's not really dating, but he's in his thrall who gets angry at any other girl or anybody who talks shit at him. That's teenage as fuck. I remember that being a thing from the emos when I was in high school.
I really enjoy the concept of someone who is trying to put on a show of being evil and just completely failing at it. It's one of my favorite tropes.
I agree with that. I wish I I wish I felt it more in what's happening.
Sure.
Because it seems, and maybe it's just because I only have chapter 1, but this, because it's like, you didn't have in your summary, it's like, the reason he goes to get the Holy Night Girl is he makes a point of just like, I could have any woman. Like, it literally is like, I could have slaves. I'm excited about slaves, which was like, ugh.
I skipped that part.
You did, but I brought it up because I can't let your crimes go unpunished. But like, he makes a specific point of like, I don't just want any girl. I want to corrupt somebody.
Yeah.
I want to find the most valiant hero I can and make them my thrall. And that's why he goes to the fight arena to get this girl who used to be like the lead of the Holy Knights who tried to do all this good stuff. And it's like, admittedly, by like freeing her from that, it's like, okay, like I could like, because I do like that trope. I just did not feel it here because in his intentions, it never is like, oh, it's so funny, it's not working. And again, I only have chapter 1, but also his intentions are so just like teenagedly like, yes, evil.
Yeah.
And just so, but also like so all over the place. And just, I don't know. Also, there's like 2 panels where there's just like a girl on a bed talking about her like prior memories. What is that?
What?
There's like, I think it's when he's talking about you see the like opening rules thing and he talks about his old life, but then there's like a shot of like a girl on like a bed talking about her like memories from a prior life. Was that like an ad in the version I was reading? It showed up in 2 different websites I looked at this on.
I'm going to look at this now.
I was very confused. Somebody commented on it in the comments then, which I looked at for some reason, and was like, because I was like, oh, was he a boy in life and now he's a girl and that's why he's the villainous? But it's like, no, because next page it's like, here he is as his boy design. I'm the son of the ducal whatever. And I was like, what was that? Why was that there? Was another manga spliced in? Is this Fight Club? Are other mangas being spliced in to mess with me? I was just very confused by it. But no, it's an isekai. It does it's so teenage. It does the isekai things. Like, I think that would be funny if it was just like by attempting to do evil, he does good and gets frustrated by it.
I don't know where you read that.
I swear I read it on the decks of mangas, and then I had to read it somewhere else because Manga Dex was being slow.
Oh, you're talking about when he first gets isekai'd.
Yeah.
He's a little boy.
That's a little boy?
Yeah, he's got long hair.
It looks like a girl.
I get
I need to look at it now for my own sanity. You can cut all this then because this is probably terrible.
If you go up a page further where he's like sitting at the table eating, it's more clear that he's a boy in that shot. But no, he's just got long hair.
It just, because it was just like, oh, he's a girl. And then it just swaps in like, what is going on? I guess
there's a lot of frills there too. I understand where you got that.
Good. Thank you. Because I was just like, who is this?
But
and we just move on
that's
from
just
it.
him as a kid.
But yeah, I don't know. Okay, good. It's slow.
There's also this thing that obviously we can't convey in words to you, but like there's a lot of visual gags with him being like evil. Like when he's having dinner with his dad or whatever and talking about needing to go to the academy. And he's like, you need to pick your attendant. And he starts thinking about, oh, I'm going to find this girl and corrupt her. And it's going to be, I'm so evil and everything. And then it cuts to him like he's standing in a pose on the table, like in an evil pose.
Sorry, Dad.
And then he's like, I'll be going now. There's a bunch of those where it's like, that's funny. That's some funny stuff.
Yeah. Maybe I need more chapters to like settle into what the actual tone is, because this doesn't feel silly enough for me to read it as like a comedy necessarily. Like I don't even know if this is a comedy necessarily.
I don't know that I would frame this completely as a comedy. There are a lot of comedic elements to it, but and I think the tone overall is one of comedy, but it's not as like, oh, we're gonna hit you with jokes.
This feels like when we showed Ben Konosuba and we were both like, it's been a hot minute, but oh my gosh, it's so funny and over the top. And we watched Konosuba again. We're like, isekais have kind of moved past this. This feels like it's not satire anymore. It feels left behind.
Yeah. And I would say, I don't think I read this because of the comedy. I enjoy the comedy bits in it, but it's like, I'm not reading this because it's funny. I'm reading it because I like the trope of what this
somebody
is.
Trying to be evil. Because admittedly, I mean, they make a point of it. Well, you made a point of it in the summary of like his things for being evil for the most part are just like, no, that's just ways to self-actualize.
Yeah. And that's like, I think that's the main comedy.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the thing of like polish your charm or something, but also just like and again, like if it's more silly, like I never know if it's like leaning into it or not, where it's just like the speed and ease of which he convinces both of these women that they're instantly just salivating over him.
Yeah, and I think that's
so just like, it's not silly enough to be like, oh, we're having a hee-haw time, and it's just, it mostly for me it's just like, okay, of course the man comes in to help, and oh my gosh, bats eyelashes, you're so incredible, so instantly off the bat. Man who has no qualities about him besides helping me once.
There is a level of hand waving you have to do for that, because yes, this is aimed at teenagers.
It's so wish fulfillment-y.
But
it's so blatant.
It's also
so hackneyed.
It is what you said, which is this is someone who was in a really awful situation, and he came in and he charmed her. Is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And he told her...
He rolled the nat 20 on his charisma dice.
Yeah, he told her the exact things that she needed to hear that would snap her out of the awful headspace that she's in.
Yeah, because she blamed herself. Like, she was just so frustrated and she kind of got cast out.
So, like, yes, it's unrealistic, but it's not... I wouldn't say it's so unrealistic as to be like...
Yeah, but then he does it again with the other girl, and they're like instantly like, ooh la la, head over heels for basic protag-kun.
Well, right, and in that situation,
like,
it's like he's the first noble who's ever actually like...
Blah,
yeah.
Barf. We have had actual conversations here where we didn't have to hand wave, where like, I think about Romance Arc, but I specifically think about Beast Arc. I think about, what was that one called? The Beast King one? With like the slave that he rescues and their like relationship of just like, this is the first man that has ever shown you, and I guess it goes both gender ways, you know, it doesn't matter. It's like, this is the first human that's shown you a modicum of praise or kindness, and you've instantly like attached to them, and it's just like...
But I will say, at least in this one, it's not trying to be serious about it. So I feel like it's easier to just be like, ha, right.
It's not silly or goofy or over the top enough for it to read to me like that. It just like, all of this feels so just teenage with, and I honestly, I'm sorry, I can't get over that. Like, it just like, I mean, obviously, like, all of this is freaking wish fulfillment, obviously. We're gonna get one soon after this one that's even worse, where I shouldn't throw rocks because I live in a glass house. That is so hackneyed. It is so, but it's like, maybe it's just because it's my, like, this isn't my thing. And maybe because that one is, I can kind of like, I mean, we've had that before. Because this is not my thing, I cannot float. I sink like a rock. I'm not floating high enough. I hit my butt on every single rock while I'm tubing down this river, and I'm having a terrible time.
Okay.
Because I'm specifically weighed down in this river.
But you really couldn't float with the gigantic boobs that are in this?
They're stupid. They should have done, and I don't know if it's a localization, they should have done either your joke or my joke. They should have done her huge tracts of land and just like lampshaded something. Like, that would have been
in his head.
That would have been funnier though, of like, because it's like, because they're like, when they're saying that line and they're looking at them, it's like obviously he's talking about her boobs, but if it's like the lead up and then the like kind of like turn off at the corner, it's like, that would have been funny and gotten the same idea across. Of it's like, we know where your mind, like, obviously we're looking at them, we know where your mind is.
I think like, so there's some comedy to this in the fact that, like, obviously, like we saw in this chapter, well, it's actually 2 chapters, but,
yes, correct, we did read 2 chapters,
where he in his head is thinking he's evil and doing all this evil stuff and everything, but outwardly he is being a gentleman, he is taking care of people. And what we'll see as we get farther in, there's these multiple women who are completely ready to have a full-on relationship with him. And he is continuing to go, what can I do to get them to come to my side, to be on my side and everything? And completely missing the fact that they're already there.
Okay, I mean, obviously I have my own biases coming into it, but I think it's that because I do not have more chapters, so I can't see, like, already from chapter 1, because it's just like, he constantly is talking about his intention with all of these things, and they are not good, and like, honestly, hearing you say it out loud, it's like, I don't remember the word you'd use for it, but like, this reminds me of teenage Brad, of like, I'm evil, but I'm one of the good ones, and that makes sense of
Which is probably why I like
you
these.
love this trope.
Yeah.
Yes. There's no, I need to make sure I turn off my judgment beams here, because this is not a moment to be judgmental, because it's those things. It's like, you have those things growing up, and you're just... We had it when we covered Nice Prison. I have a nostalgia for this type of thing.
You know what this is?
So this is what I love, and I can't explain it. It's just it's a crystal that was born in my brain when I was younger, and I can be aware of it, but I can't get rid of it. But it will always fill me with power and joy.
That whole thing where when I was a teenager, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be evil. I'm going to take over the world."
Yeah, but I'm the good one.
It was fucking Code Geass Lelouch. That's exactly that was what he did.
Oh, I don't know.
He used his power to become a tyrant and take over everything, and then let himself get taken out in order for everybody to like
Code Geass.
Have a thing to focus on. He brought people together in their hatred of him.
I honestly had, when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, I remember being wowed by was it it's Machiavelli? I think it's called The Prince, or like something like that. And I'd be so curious what I'd get out of reading it now. But when I was reading it then, and like obviously I'm like hopped up on anime, like the idea of like to your face, to the public, I am this evil, powerful figure, but behind the scenes, I am actually doing all this incredible stuff to run the state.
Although this is the opposite of that.
I don't think this is, I don't think that's actually what Machiavelli's The Prince is actually talking about. I don't actually know that. I should really read it as an adult. It's not that long. Strange that we're getting, from Weird Horror Arc, I'm talking about Machiavelli's The Prince. Honestly, I would love a manga that was like that, of somebody who acted the heel and the villain as like a king or a political figure, but they were using that. I feel like I'm saying that out loud. I'm getting a sense of deja vu now for some reason. That sounds familiar, of something we've read.
I just told you Code Geass.
No, but I haven't read that. I don't know that. But that idea of I'm gonna be the villain, but behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But that's just to get everybody like paying attention and interested.
Although, to be fair, I think that's what
and motivated
his family does. Like they make a point of like the Duke like acts like they do a bunch of bad stuff, but they actually are doing good things behind the scenes.
I think with all this and like his intentions and stuff, it's like I need to see that and not just be told it, because right now I need more like evidence-based things for my feeling train to be able to get on that track. And I can't just hand wave it, because it's like there's other stuff we've said where it's like a character can say like, you're so smart, or you're so this or that. And then like through their actions, it's like, oh, they fucking aren't. Like you can't just say this one thing and then they're another thing, and that like that dissonance isn't on purpose.
And that's the thing, like with Alice, Chris, like the speed at which she comes over to his side,
and
it's way too fast,
and is instantly like ride or die. Like, here is the girl that is forever in your corner that you're not really dating, but she's you just because you like having a girl in your orbit who will attack any other woman or other person who tries to shit talk you. And it's like, that is such a specific teenage fantasy.
Right. And the thing is,
down to the molecules.
In a different series, maybe this series, if it had more time or whatever, like she would reluctantly go with him and then see him doing good things.
Literally 7 chapters she could get there and I'd be fine. But the fact that it is like 0 to 100 on a dime from talking to her once. Because it's like, I like the gag. It's like, I've got one more thing I need to do. And then she just kills the entirety of the arena because they're all criminals. And it's just like, that's a fun gag. I like that. I thought that was like a funny little bit. I wanted more that level of like, oh, this is what we're dealing with. And I don't think I got that. But I'm also like, I've got my isekai frustrations horse blinders on to an extent. So I try when I read. My butt hits all the rocks when we're tubing. I'm trying.
I would let's see. The art isn't great.
The art is all of these light novel adaptations. It's not somebody's baby. It's workmanlike.
Well, but it
also didn't help that he looked like a little girl for those 2 pages, which was needlessly confusing.
In some of them,
from a different manga,
the art is like they obviously put a lot of effort into it,
into the
even
tits.
though it's not, amazing or anything. But this one, it's got a certain sketchy style to it it's fine. It gets the point across, but it's a little strange and it might turn some people off. Again, I don't read stuff for the art, so
No, you only read the articles, Brad. You're better than us. No.
Interesting point to make there. I don't really care about boobs. I'm an ass man.
Yeah, no, same. We're in the same camp. That's
So-
why this is why I was unable to float, because
Yeah.
the thing that I enjoyed the most was not present.
This is definitely
I mean, not that I haven't already been outed by doing this gosh dang podcast and prior arcs and situations.
this is definitely for boob men.
I feel like we need to like splice in. One day we need to record the Space Dandy Boobs or Butts episode 1 intro.
But that's
If we
I
haven't
mean,
already.
boobs are good. I personally
No, I don't want to get into this.
I don't like them very large. Mashiro in this, that's way too
Too
excessive.
big. Her back hurts. I feel for her.
Alice's
Buying a top is probably difficult.
Alice is a little. It's bigger than I would want in real life, but it's not to the extent in a drawing
Fiction,
where
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's too
I
much.
don't have to worry about your back in a
But
drawing. You're not real.
Mashiro definitely. That's just like, what are you doing?
What do I think will happen? You have a little future vision, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read everything that's currently
Which is
available.
like you said, 22 chapters. It's been local, quote unquote local. It has been
Yes.
translated. We'll
Yes.
say, because these aren't official. Oh, is there a number more than the girls we've met of harem participants or potential participants?
There's one that we met and there's one that we haven't met
Only one other one.
so far.
Okay, of 22 chapters.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say more for how quickly everything's working and getting on board, but I guess they will take their time then.
So who do you think the third one is?
the one
I guess to be fair, from these
the
two,
one that's the ex-fiancée.
Mashiro, yes.
the one that the ex. I liked her, but also it was nice that she was wearing pants. I appreciated that. It was weird that it's like, why are you wearing boys' clothes? And it was just like, why? What does it matter?
Well, unfortunately, she'll go back to not wearing pants once.
That's okay. Oh, because because the man has to brain break them back into, I know I'm like using like the biggest cudgel to smash at these things. Like,
Well,
it's really not the
no,
end of the
she's
world.
broken right now.
Oh, I guess because her fiance is kind of like, so our main character, our protag Kun will free her from
Yeah.
this other marriage she's been placed in that she's not happy with, and now he's the hero, and now they're back together, kind of, sort of, but not really. even
What
though
do
they
you think his secret power is?
Goodness, I forgot about that. Admittedly, it's tainted by the fact that you brought this up for Weird Horny Arc for so some reason. I feel like it's related to that, but I don't know what it would. I feel like it's one of these. It's like you can't. It's gonna be behind. Like, this is me making a joke that it's like behind a censor bar. It's like, we can't show this. It's got the pixelation on it, and they never fully explain what it is. But I don't think that's what it is. Is it mind control? Can he just like Uber Riz himself? Is he
No.
the Rizzler?
No, that's all him.
He is the Rizzler.
Yeah.
They are in fact sticking out their.
No, it has to do with the fact that he has no attribute, no magic.
He's got no magic power, but he does have a secret power. Or is his secret power that he has no power, or
So,
that he has no power and that he
it's-
has one secret spell?
It's not that he has no magic power. It's that he has no attribute.
Of course, that's such a fucking light novel distinction. Which, if I was having a better time, I would like, but I'm not, so I don't. Because I'm sure something like that happens in Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, "Ooh, wow, cool!" And here I'm just like, "Of course."
Well, it basically means that like he can't manifest flames or icicles or whatever.
Okay, so what does it mean he can do?
His secret power
Oh my gosh! Spoiler alert! Skip ahead a minute.
is that he can turn off other people's magic.
Oh, it's the null. It's always the null. The null can always do that. There's so many
yeah.
nulls. What's a null? I'm trying to think of a recent null I've run into, but there's like always the somebody of like, this person has no magic and thus, or none of the power, but this gives them this like weird inverse thing
Yeah.
that they just turn off other people's.
So all of
Psychic
his
powers.
like his speed and strength and everything, he just trains.
Hey, also, then he's like, do you know taijutsu? And it's just like, yeah, of course the male insert is just really good at fighting because.
But that's important because this is a world where all these nobles rely on their magic powers.
So he's
And
got to
so-
Rock Lee it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that.
He beats the fuck out of the prince.
When we're not recording, so I don't have to worry about spoilers, you're going to tell me what happens. But that's for later. I guess we're at the school for now. Do I think it's an arc, or do I think we just are at the school for a while?
I mean, he's 15.
Yeah, I guess we're at the school for a while.
Yeah. As far as I know, this is just
we're going to deal with a lot of other
life.
noble. Do people attack the school?
Not so far.
No, I guess we're in safe territory.
No,
not too
but
much,
also sort of the main underlying thing that's going on has to do with...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because it's like, this is always like, this is like, again, Isekai is like a stack of just like things Moxie does not care for. And like, even outside of all the teenage things, it's like, I hate monarchs and those medieval power sets.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't care.
Okay, this is a good
like,
time.
it just doesn't like it does not help that all these trappings, even before I've learned that bias of just like, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not against them necessarily, but like, I've honed a knife because there's so many of them and most of the populace enjoys them and I just don't care.
I need to put this out there.
Yes, go for it.
Because we got to this and you said, okay, 69. I want to do Keijo and then 69 will be there. Let's do the weird horny arc.
Yes.
And so I spent
this is important to talk about because we had a
time
conversation before the episode, before you came over, which normally I do not do on episode days when I have strong feelings. Normally I try to keep them up, but yes.
I spent so much time trying to find something that would fit here.
Homie looked.
Okay. The thing is, as far as isekai go, you get weird or you get horny. You don't get both.
Especially out of the gate.
On top of which is that, like, all of the horny ones are terrible, really. There's almost no good isekai that are horny.
I need to read the ones you keep calling. I feel like one of these isenines, I need one that you think is bad so I can set my barometer of what your quality level is.
Okay.
Because right now,
do that.
What I feel like it's like what you
We'll
guys
do
did
that
on
next.
Addiction.
We'll do that for
next
79.
79. 79 will be the barometer setter. You will bring me a bad one. And if I feel it, if I hate it notably more than the other ones you brought me, which I haven't liked, we'll have gained an understanding between each other.
Okay.
But if I like it, it will be the funniest shit that's ever happened.
That's true.
Or if I'm like okay with it and it's just like...
Let's preface that with the fact that this will be a series that I am continuing to read. I just think it's bad. Just technically and overall.
Okay, we need one of those, but we need one that you read the first chapter and went, nope.
That doesn't exist.
That wasn't for reasons where it was like 5-alarm fire, like, there's a thing in here that's like not cool.
I think that's happened, but I would struggle to find
obviously
that.
You would have to find it again because you wouldn't remember it because you only read one chapter and didn't like it. So, okay.
It's going to be the worst of what I'm still reading.
Interesting.
Which,
such a low
to be
bar.
fair, trash.
Low.
Total, complete trash.
But I'm curious what trash is like. It's always been so interesting trying to figure out and like translate between our tastes and the words we use to describe things.
This is
quality
like
levels.
There is a discarded candy wrapper at the bottom of a dumpster. It still has some pieces of chocolate on it. I am licking the wrapper.
I want to know what that is now. I want to know the depths that you go to. I want to understand.
Be prepared, people.
79.
None of you are prepared.
We'll go for 69. I do. I guess I'm glad you brought that up because it was like initially I was frustrated with you of just like, this is what you brought to me.
But here's the thing.
And then Brad sends me the number of series that he's read and looked at, and I went, okay, my disappointment is not with you. Your credentials are noted. I remain disappointed with the world that there is a genre that is so bursting with numbers that we literally get multiple of them in shitty anime form a season, and yet none of them have this vibe that the man who knows about them can't find.
But let's be clear, because there are series that are bad, that are weird and horny. And there are plenty of series that are better than this, but they're not horny. And so But is bad, the thing I need to impress on you is the thing that I keep trying to get across of like how you describe things so we can have the same meter, is that I've forever learned my meteor range is on a scale from -10 to 10, where 10 is the most amazing favorite thing ever, and -10 is the room, and true 0 is boring garbage that's not worth anybody's time. And
whenever you say trash, I go into the negatives. And if you get a high enough negative, it's still fun even if you can look at it and go, this is garbage. The Room is garbage. Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter is garbage. But to watch it is an incredible, entertaining thing.
I would say most of the terrible stuff I read is probably in the range of like -6 to -10.
Okay, because like that's the like, it's so bad it's good. Oh my gosh, I need to see this car crash even if I don't like this.
I don't
or like
think,
things about it are like just technically bad.
I don't.
But it's incredible because like the things a lot of the Isenais you've brought me are like -2s. They're just very low level. Like
they're -2 to you.
To me, yes, on my scale, admittedly. But just having, I guess the thing of translation I want to go is like the concept of the negative to positive, where negative things are bad, but as you get closer to -10, it's like there are things that are bad that can be incredible.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring you like a -5 or 6, where it's like, I think this is bad, but I don't think it's so bad it's good.
Okay.
And we're going to set our bar there.
Because that's becoming less and less of like, this isn't a farce of a train wreck, and is just like not, or just so like, because like, I think the next one the next one after this is the flimsiest excuse to do the thing that it's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we could flip around or whatever, but like, you'll know when we get there. The other one, between the next two, you'll know which one I'm talking about when I say the flimsiest excuse to do a thing. But we're not there yet. We're here in another life where I'm a villain because I want to do what I want because my girlfriend cheated on me, I guess. I like that she's like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, how fucked up is that?
I just assumed that he helped a girl thinking he would form a relationship, and she was just like, I mean, he saved me, but I don't know who he is.
No, like he literally...
I know he then says it, that this is my girlfriend who cheated on me.
So it's not entirely clear from the panels, but he found her with that guy.
Yeah.
And saved her in that moment.
Oh, I thought I thought he saved her from Truck-kun. Because isn't it a shot out on the street where people are coming over and going, what's that?
Yeah, like he stumbled upon them. Outside, saves her, and then she's like, I don't know who that is.
Is he trying to run somebody? Isn't Truck-kun there? Did I hallucinate Truck-kun?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think about him a lot.
Point is,
I know we haven't spoken to him.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah, a truck splatters him. Help, a man protected a woman and got run over. Please call an ambulance. ... Chan, are you okay? I heard that man saved you. Do you know him? Do you know him? ... I don't know that man at all. And she runs off. Yeah, he got run over by Truck-kun.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about he saved his girlfriend
from getting run over by Truck-kun.
Who then immediately says, I don't know him.
Yeah.
The guy that's with her is the guy
who's cheating on her.
She is cheating
But
with.
It's so easy with these freaking isekai protagonists, protag-kuns, where it's just like, if I help this woman like that, it's not in his head. Like,
no, but like
he can say we were dating, but it's like, were they? I see no evidence of this. I see him throwing his life away for somebody who doesn't give a shit.
Well, yeah, but
protag-kun's gonna protag-kun.
The point is, in most cases, it's like, oh, this guy, he lives in he's a NEET, and he just walked by and saved one random person. Yes. So it's like, oh, okay. But in this case, he was living a normal life and saved this girl who he was dating. As far as you know,
which we don't see any of it.
I mean, he was a regular office worker.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you learn that later?
Is it not clear from that?
No.
All right. Well,
let's land this plane. I've got ramen to eat. What are your thinky thinks and feely feels? Or would you like me to go first as you're the knower of things?
I think that this is good. I don't think it's doing anything amazing. I think it's just solid for what it is.
Okay.
I feel that it's great. This is exactly the kind of thing that I like.
You do.
So, and I'm not going to apologize.
No,
for that.
don't. I'm just always so surprised that we have such heartfelt conversations both on and off the mic, and this is the swirl you drink. It's just constant. It's just so odd to me.
We're different people.
We are, but it's just like, I don't know. I think this is fine.
Okay.
I
That's
feel
fair.
this is bad. Honestly, obviously it's not for me, but
Yeah.
like I think even for what it's doing, I just don't think it's doing anything interesting. I don't think its comedy moments are funny enough to prove their comedy, and maybe some of that is just affected by everything else I've consumed related to isekai and light novels, that it's just like it's gotten Konosuba'd where it's like, oh, the water level rose to what used to be. It's like, imagine a world where the actual world became worse than Starship Troopers or Helldivers, and you'd look back on them and go, at the time this was satire, but now this is just kind of tame. And it's like, that's what I like, that Konosuba example, like I'm so happy to have that as a touch point, especially with you specifically, but just in general, of just like, I feel like the water level has risen too much, even though this is a new series, for it to read as satire in moments, because it just feels like I've seen other isekai do these things bold-facedly.
Now, the thing is, I wouldn't buy this.
Ah.
I enjoy reading it, but there's not enough substance here for this to be something that I want on my shelf.
Interesting. Okay.
Would you buy?
I was taught to not say nice things, so I say nothing at all. No. God, no. God, no.
I hate to do this, but since you
You'd have to
said
pay
it was
me.
bad.
Well, yep. Okay. Strap up. It's high noon. We haven't had one of these in a while.
Now,
for real. I know we did a pretend one.
I'm gonna preface this. This is something that I think we sort of have glossed over before. You need to say something nice about this that you haven't already said nice about it.
Goodness.
It has to be somewhat difficult, right?
You go first. I gotta think. I'm not gonna listen. I have to think.
Something bad about this that hasn't already been said. Let's see. I don't find Mashiro cute or beautiful, like almost at all. She's got heterochromia, which I think some people are into. You can tell.
Oh, okay.
But also the first page is colored.
Oh, that'll do it.
But in her, it just doesn't work. And like, tailor your uniform. Come on. Like the buttons are bursting off of it all the time.
I did honestly. I did like that where it like leads an extra. I'm like, oh goodness, the buttons. And I was like, okay, yo, here we are. Now we're getting to some like salt and pepper. We're getting flavor.
I don't know what the cape is for. She wears this cape and it just doesn't look right on her at all. And I just don't get it. There is a recent chapter where it's the beach episode.
Oh, goodness.
And she's wearing this skimpy black bikini. And it's like, that looks good. That looks correct. You don't look like a weirdo in that.
I would actually now cite that buttons gag and go, I respect and appreciate that it is not trying to hide what it's about. It takes a certain level of just like, I'm saying boobs out loud. We're talking about her big boobs. I know I made like a frustration thing about it. Like I wish you would have made it into a joke.
You could do it funnier, yeah.
But like, while doing it stupid teenage things, I appreciated just going, nope, this is what I'm about. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm not going to dance around it. I'm here because of this.
Yeah. And I think that's,
and I respect that.
Maybe not in that particular situation, but maybe to an extent. I think that's the joke that they're going for.
The button,
he has those thoughts.
The buttons was the lean in moment of like, okay, now you're actually like painting with things, and we're having fun or adding an extra little spice to a situation more than just like, wow, big boobs. It's like, yeah, how many times have you seen that? 50 billion manga. But it's just like, oh my gosh, like I know I keep coming back because it made me laugh. It was just like, oh my gosh, the buttons can't make it.
All right,
they're gonna explode out any moment.
I thought was
funny.
I will give you a little bit here to whet your palate for the fun and interesting things that occur. So one of the girls that we haven't met yet, she is one of the prodigies at the school. Of course,
that makes sense.
She is sort of in this antagonist position with Augur, but at one point they're like sort of coming to terms with each other and like, we're going to work together and that kind of thing. And he goes, would you like to come to my room and spend the night? And she's like, oh, okay. And she like gets herself all prepared for this. Like, I'm going to do this because I have to infiltrate him and like, I got to figure this. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use my body and like,
oh my goodness.
Right. And she gets there and they open the door and all of the girls are there and Augur, and they're all wearing pajamas and they're like, it's a sleepover.
Yeah,
and she's
okay,
like, oh shit.
I thought that. That's fun. I like that. I want more of that.
There's a good amount of that.
Okay. I want it more and I want it more confidently done.
I want it now.
I know. First chapters. What are you going to do?
Yeah, right. So yeah,
we have high noon duels.
I like it.
You're free to like it. You're free to like it.
It's my thing.
I already had a series in this arc, and I'm gonna have another one where I'm gonna be like, hey, cards on the table. I'm about it. I understand. If you are not, I understand. I understand many things. I can't throw stones.
I am going to surrender, because you said something nice about it.
Okay. I'll only clip you in the shoulder. Or no, that'll probably hit a tendon. I'll clip you through side belly fat so it doesn't have any organs. And
Oh,
just
no.
kinda stings a
Shoot
little
me in my sciatic nerve.
bit. Have trouble
with
walking?
that.
You're just not going to walk anymore.
Well,
when
but then
I'm
I
done
won't
with you.
feel it.
Oh. Pew! So yeah, after a legit high noon and not the other one we did just because it felt like we should have done it, which I think it was good to get out the test pistols every so often. Brad, we are now at the end. Hit me with them plugs.
I do want to say
one more piece.
I think this is a good opportunity. As I explained, I had a ton of trouble finding something to do for this arc, right?
Yes.
I would like to now say, anybody who's gotten to this point, please come on our Discord and leave your recommendations for weird and horny stuff. And I want to be very specific with this because we're not looking for porn. We're not looking for hentai.
If it is hentai, if I see actual genitals, you've exited the boundaries. Keijo is the best of the series we were covering. Keijo is the best one to use as your tuning rod.
Yeah.
For figuring out what we're talking about when we say this.
So, I went through my entire list. I could not find something that wasn't like just overtly sexual but like wasn't in a fun,
or just doing something strange.
Yeah. Like we're not looking for trash. I have plenty of trash. I want something
maybe we are, I don't know.
that's actually good.
I don't want that.
That makes me go
I don't want good things. I want things that match the theme. In this case.
Yeah, but you want it to be good too.
I have to read one chapter. If it's bad, we get to both stomp it. It's funny.
No, I'm talking about something I actually want to read. I want actual recommendations.
Okay. Well, Brad wants good stuff. I want the same thing, but I'm throwing out the quality thing. Find me something that most matches the mission statement.
We can do
that's what I want, which is
a follow-up arc of this if there's enough.
There's enough things that I wanted to put in it and I didn't, and I don't want to extend this arc anymore than I already have. So.
I'm fine to do it that way, but I literally
for maybe a future episode, maybe for own personal experience.
Yeah.
If you have something that fits the bill, whether good for Brad or not for me, or also good for me, I don't know. That's what I am looking for because I think it's funny and I'm compelled by it.
We don't ask for, serious recommendations like that too often, mostly because I read so much stuff that it's like, what is someone going to bring me that I'm not already reading?
And I'm bad at reading new things and don't need more things to add to the list.
Yeah, this is literally one where I'm just like, what
would have satisfied this? Where are they hiding?
Yeah.
What did I not Google?
So, yeah. Help us out.
Help a homie out. Speaking of helping a homie out, Brad, tell me about the other homies who help us out.
I'll get to that. But first, I need to talk to you about Sugoi Mart.
That's a homie who helps us out and can help you out, listener.
Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch. All kinds of cool stuff you can't get outside of Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their first order. But we want to hear from you, as we just said. So find all of our social links on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. The best place to talk with us, as I said, is Discord, so come hang out with us there. You can also find links up there for our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like getting to vote what we cover on heroin addiction, getting high-quality stereo version of the podcast early, and also bonus episodes. And of course, we have to shout out our patrons. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee Sir Cake Dwarf. At our Reincarnator tier, we've got Moon, And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on our feed. And Brad, this podcast is going to be evil. Give me some evil things we can do.
We're going to adopt a whole bunch of puppies and kittens and give them fulfilling long lives. We're going to volunteer in an old folks' home so that my beautiful face can be the last thing those old people see. We're going to go and volunteer at a homeless shelter, and we'll feel really good about that.
Do I have the summary on these? I think I do.
What do you mean?
I do the summaries, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it.
There we go. That's how I make the text bigger. August already knows exactly who he's aiming for.
August.
Augur. Should be August. Augur. I swear to you, I was thinking about it and I could not think of an ending gag. I was trying to think of doing like, we're going to be an evil podcast and then say a thing that wasn't actually evil, but I was trying to think of like what would be funny. Actually, I kind of love that. It's very shibby. I feel like I just want to splice in.
So selfish and self-serving. Oh, so evil.
Let me.
We're going to go pick up litter along the side of the road so that we can have a good view.
And then we'll just cut those things in because they were all really good.
What else would be selfish and evil?
We cleaned up trash. Have we helped an old lady across the street? This is good. You should write the manga. This is a way better manga. It's like helping a bunch of other people from a very egotistical... Uh-oh. The light was on the whole time, was it not? I know it was. I saw it.
I didn't press it hard enough.
Okay.